Hey y'all, this is Gabe at Security.org, and I'm in my very cozy, very warm, very dry, decidedly smoke-free apartment in the middle of a gross, wet, not cozy, frankly nasty February in New York. Additionally, and unfortunately, this has been a winter marred by lots of disasters around the city. We've had floods. We've unfortunately had some really devastating fires, and it's been really sad. I mean, environmental elements aside, my job is to think about security, environmental, home, all those things, but also privacy, which is why I've decided to revisit the Notion smart monitoring system. So Notion is more about home awareness, or as they call it, smart monitoring, than it is home security. But it does have some of those capabilities as well. In fact, they say we partner with insurance and service providers to help owners proactively reduce loss and monitor for things like water leaks or sounding alarms, preventing small issues from becoming big headaches. So that's the blurb from Notion themselves. And just by the way, if you are a homeowner, you may be eligible to get a Notion system with Lemonade Insurance, the sponsors of today's video. So let's go ahead and dive into the Notion smart monitoring system, beginning with just how you get it going, how it's installed, because Notion is a DIY system completely. So you can go ahead and just watch my process of installing it. It's pretty straightforward. You're gonna just pull the tab, you're gonna decide where you'd like it to be and place it there. Now, I placed one of my sensors near my smoke alarm. That is on purpose. We're gonna go through all the utility of setting this up, but just to know, you have your bridge, which actually allows you to connect to the Wi-Fi. Basically, the sensors talk to that bridge talks to you on your app. So let's go ahead now, and we know what's included, we know how we set it up. Let's go ahead and talk about what you're getting with each one of those Notion sensors. Now, most people don't know this, but water is actually the biggest threat to homes in the United States. Now, we think a lot more about fire, I think. We think about tornadoes and theft, but water is a huge deal, as anyone who's come home to a soggy basement can attest. And it seems like there are an infinite number of things in our home that want to flood it. And this is where the Notion sensor comes in. You place this on the ground and it's gonna let you know, oh, I'm getting covered with water. You might wanna come down here and check and see what's going on with this washing machine. Now, the second thing I want to talk about when it comes to the Notion sensor is that, yes, it's just this one sensor, but this one sensor can let you know when doors have been opened or not. So if there's a particular entrance of some sort that I wanted to take care of, for example, if I wanted to know when people are going out the back door or the front door, if I wanted to know when people were opening up the pantry and eating my cookies, all of those things can be basically accounted for with just one Notion sensor. It has the ability to know when something was open, when something was closed, so it's actually really useful to have the Notion sensor. Now, my home, which is 3 stories, I do have alarms all over the place. So I have smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms. And what's great is that the Notion can also hear those alarms and send you an extra notification. So maybe I'm deep in work or something of that nature on one floor, maybe something's happening on the 3rd floor, and it's unlikely that I wouldn't hear it, honestly, but it's nice to have that just little extra bit of insurance with the Notion sensor. So here I am checking out the Notion mobile application. Now, there's not a lot of bells and whistles to this, just as there's not a lot of bells and whistles per se for Notion, but it does get the job done, because ultimately Notion is not intrusive. It's trying to make sure you have the tools at your disposal to know what you want to know. So if you look at mine, I've named this SDO Crib, so that's SDO, Security.org, and you'll see that in the bathroom, I have no leak. I put one of the Notions there. I've tested it out. I know what's going on. I know the door is closed. This is important to me to know who's coming in and out of that front door. I know the temperature in my room is 67 degrees. And I also know that there's no fire in that room. Now, that room in particular that I have this device definitely fluctuates a lot in terms of temperature. Dogs coming in and out, I have to open the door, just close the door, cooking in this kitchen, a lot happening. I want to always be in touch with what's going on with the smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. So love that for me when it comes to Notion. I'm excited to actually put some more sensors up. I've ordered more sensors since I started doing this review. I was like, you know what? I need to add more of these elements to my home as it has gotten bigger since I last did my Notion review. Hooray for me. Now, in addition to what you can see on this page in terms of the bathroom, the history, things of that nature. You also have various settings in terms of like what you would like to happen. So if I want to say send alerts when I'm home, send alerts when away, send alerts at night, all of that is, really easy to toggle on or off inside of the mobile application. Beyond that, you'll note that you have other settings that basically talk more to those notifications, and you have integrations with things like IFTTT and Home Advisor. Now, to be clear, I've not tried the Home Advisor element. I know that you can contact plumbers. You can do a lot of things directly inside of the mobile application. I don't do that. All of that is done for me through my landlord, so I don't actually go through the mobile application. But I imagine if I were new to a place or didn't know anyone in a certain location, I might want to go through the Notion mobile app. So after having the opportunity to check out Notion once again with this Gen 3, let me give you my final thoughts. So in short, it's the system for those who might be privacy concerned. No camera, so nothing to worry about there. Just doing a lot less when it comes to surveillance of people, I would say. Now you can, of course, with the sensors know what's going on. People open various doors and things of that nature, but it's not really counting what's going on. This was something that was important for me because I live with someone who's not a huge fan of cameras, so I can actually throw this Notion sensor in a lot of spaces that would not be okay for cameras and still know what's going on. So that, of course, was really important to me. We can also know what's going on in the rooms where the dogs are in terms of temperature, things of that nature. And, we've been able to do all of this, know all of this, and maintain, one, affordability, because you're just buying this system. You can add sensors as you go on, and that's pretty much it. There's no increased cost, professional monitoring, and you're going to get a deal on your insurance. I mean, that's a big deal. So like you have a Notion and they know, hey, this person's keeping up to when there's a fire. This person's keeping up when there's a flood. You're going to have a better day all around. So that's my look at Notion Smart Monitoring System. All right, folks, thanks for checking out today's Lemonade sponsored video on Notion Smart Monitoring System. If you have any questions, please drop them below. I'd love to dive in, as this is a system that I pretty much just have maintained in my home for a while now. And if you like today's video, maybe subscribe to our channel, give us a comment, give us a like. We'd always love to see you over and over again as we strive to make the best videos for digital and physical security, Security.org. My name is Gabe. This is Security.org. Be secure.